What's up, YouTube? This is like an introductory video to my new channel, Liberty Mower Clinic. What it is I'm recently been mechanic on mowers for people. I've got a full-time job during the week, Monday through Friday, but on the weekends I've been servicing and working on people's mowers and stuff, and so I just wanted to make a channel that I can upload videos on, that I can kind of have a record of it. And so that's what's going on, guys. Speaking of customers, before I get started on this, is all my equipment here. Before I get started on my own equipment, we'll talk about this. It's a customer's rototiller, Cub Cadet, one owner rototiller. It's a widow that owns it, and apparently her and her husband bought it back in 2009. Now that it's 2018, and apparently they've only used it 3 times in the 9 years that they've owned it. And you know, rototilling is nothing compared to lawn cutting or grass cutting, and so you know, those engines aren't really put under that much as compared to a lawnmower. And anyway, so the reason why it's here at my place is because she's wanting to sell it. And so we got it. I got it over here because she just wants me to go through it. It's been over a year since it's been ran, and she wants me to just go through it and make sure that it'll start and run, do everything it's supposed to do before somebody buys it. And so that's what it's here for. I have yet to start on it or do anything with it just yet, and probably will after I get done making this video. So so let's go out here and look at my equipment, and I'll walk y'all through it, and hopefully you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hold on a second. Alright guys, so kind of got them arranged here. I tried to arrange them like the oldest to the newest, and like I said, this is all my equipment, and some of them are heavily modified and some of them are just a little bit modified. And so I'll go through all of that with you guys, and what I'm going to try to do is to start out with the oldest to the fleet, and then work my way to the newest. So the oldest is actually this right here, Toro Recycler 22-inch, self-propelled. I do have a plastic grass chute, that because I don't like mulching, and it's still in the garage there, but didn't really feel like that was important for the video. It has been slightly modified, and what I'm talking about is right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. I have added a fuel cutoff valve and a fuel filter on there. These mowers do not come with fuel filters or fuel cutoff valves, and so I've added those 2 things just to extend the life of the mower. Even though I've had it for years, I just got through putting that on, and so it's still a 1-pull, ready to go, self-propelled. So there's that. Then we're on to this one is next, and this one here is actually a little bit more heavily modified. I say a little bit more, it's more modified than probably anything else I got, almost. And let's start with under the hood. This is actually a 19 horse 540cc Briggs & Stratton that you're looking at. And if you look at the tag there, obviously that's not the original motor. This is actually motor number 5 for this mower. And 4 of those have been since I've had it in my, I'm sorry, not 4, but 3 of those have been since it's been in my possession. Let's see. The wiring is all modified in it. None of the safety switches work. It no longer has a key switch. Let's see if I can show you guys, if I can get it here. This is the start switch, the one on the right. The one on the left is the start switch, and the one on the right is the headlights. And this one down here, let me see if I can get it here. This little push button switch right here, that's the kill switch. So you can see modified the headlights there. They those will drain down my battery if I'm not careful. So, because when I wired them in, I wired them directly to the battery. So, and it's funny because you look at this and you wouldn't think that that's a Briggs & Stratton Intech. And what it was the engine I had in here before was a flathead, and I just took the tin and the air filter off of it and put it on this 19 horsepower Intech because I like that older look. So here in a minute when we get down to my red riding mower, you'll see what this is supposed to look like. So that is a Craftsman LT 2000 42-inch cut. We lovingly refer to it as Frankenstein because of all the work I've had to do to it to keep it going. It's all been serviced, new spindles, new blades, new belts. What can I say? Starts and runs, cuts the grass. So let's move on to this one. So this one here, maybe you guys can already pick up on some of the modifications done to it. The story actually starts out that this was I actually owned a Murray weed trimmer, walk behind weed trimmer, and had a bad Tecumseh motor on it and some other parts that I needed. And I went over to a mower salvage yard, mower parts guy that I know here in town, and was looking in his boneyard, and he had this Craftsman laying back there. And I ended up buying it and bringing it home, and then I found a weed eater push mower on Craigslist for $10, and had some issues and stuff with it. And long story short, I got the engine going, and so I brought home this Craftsman. And I had the Murray weed trimmer, and I had that engine, and I was looking, and it was like, well, it'd probably be easier if I just put the engine on this Craftsman than it was to mess with the Murray. So, and of course, you can see what I did. The rest of it is history. So that engine originally came off of a weed eater push mower, and now powers this 22-inch Craftsman weed trimmer. So that's about it on that one. Well, I'd say another modification I had to do to it was the on a push mower similar to my self-propelled has a lever to shut it off. Well, on this lever engages and disengages the cutting head. So obviously I couldn't do that with this. It only had one lever, and so I had to remove all of that, and then also had to figure out a way to shut it off, and I had to control the throttle. That's another story in itself. I'm trying to keep this short, but long story short, I solved a lot of the problems I had with that motor by installing a manual throttle on there, and so that's how I cut it off now. I shut it off with the throttle. and also helps it maintain a steady idle when I'm using it. Also, I can rev it up higher when I'm in tall stuff. So there's that, guys. Next is, actually I had this Ryobi weed eater. This was a gift from my wife first, and really the only modification I've done to it is that head. Rather than the string head, I've put that on there with, it's got 3 blades on it. Other than that, there's really nothing to say about that. Like I said, it's a gift from my wife, and still a really good weed eater. So after that will be this red riding mower. And remember what I said, guys, about how the engine in the LT2000 or LT1000 is supposed to look? That's what the engine in that LT2000 or LT1000 is supposed to look. I keep saying LT2000 because I had one and I sold it, so please forgive me. But anyway, so I had to change it up a little bit, obviously, to get to swap it over from these plastic covers to the metal cover that's on there on the LT1000. But that's what the motor's supposed to look like. So this one really doesn't look like it's been modified, but I've had that engine out 2 or 3 times, and one of the biggest modifications to it is that this engine originally came with it's a 540cc intake, and all of them came with a spin-on oil filter and a oil pump. And obviously you can tell that this one no longer has the oil filter right there. To show y'all what I'm talking about, see that oil filter right there? Yeah, that's what this one and over here is supposed to look like. But the issue was I had to change out the cam and other internal parts, and when I did that, I could no longer use the oil pump, and so I just took and put on a different crankcase on the bottom of that motor, and installed a fuel filter and fuel shutoff valve and some other things. That is not the original. That's not the original muffler on there. The original muffler actually took up that whole space there. You would not be able to see the ground through there. Let me see, I got it over here. There you go. That's the original muffler right there, and you can see why I didn't use it. It's all blowed out down there on the bottom. So that would be another modification I've done to it. Also, that is not the original carburetor, and it's had a little bit of the wiring modified on it. One of the things is on both of my riding mowers, no longer has the fuel shut-off solenoid in the carburetor. None of them are functioning in either one. Matter of fact, the LT1000 over there doesn't even have one anymore. And this one has one, but it doesn't function right. I've modified it. And I've modified some of the electrical on it, but I didn't go as crazy on it as I did the green one, because my wife gets on the green one and she gets confused and she doesn't really understand how to start it and stuff like that. And so I left this one alone so that way she could use it and understand how to use it, and so it'd be easier for her. But what it does is I can now start it without setting on it, and I can also mow in reverse. The one safety switch that still is operational is that when the deck is engaged, you cannot get off the mower. It will die. Other than that, all the other safety switches have been circumvented and modified. So and then this is the last one, and I say it is the newest. I recently acquired it, I think just the other day, and you'll see as I'm panning on it right now and looking at it, and you're like, I think something's missing. You're absolutely right. It's the gas tank and carburetor right there, and because I'm right in the middle of trying to figure it out. This was a freebie from a guy I go to church with, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get freebies or like that weed eater I told you I use for my weed trimmer. I'll buy mowers for like 10 bucks, push mowers online for 10 bucks, get them going real cheap, and then sell them for 40, 50 bucks and make a little money on them. And I think that's going to be the plan for this. Just try to see if I can get this going and see if I can get it online on there for sale for a few dollars. So right now it's not operational, and so we'll get it figured out, and maybe I'll shoot another video once I get it figured out. So I believe it's a Bollins 21 inch. Yeah, Bollins 21 inch mulching mower. And it's not that old of a mower. It's a Briggs & Stratton overhead valve engine. So we'll see if we can get it up and going and get it up for sale. So anyway, guys, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you guys enjoy the content that I plan on uploading on this channel. And it's pretty much, like I said, it's going to be mower related, small engine related. So that's what I plan on. Liberty Mower Clinic, Liberty stands for freedom, but it also stands for Liberty County, Texas, which is where I live. And so anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys comment, subscribe, and like. So God bless, and y'all take care.